I legit was shook when I received a message about like the most shocking manifestation ever. If you want to know what I'm talking about and hear what was happening in real time, then you're going to want to stay tuned. Hello everybody and welcome to another rousing, exciting episode of Spill the Tea Tuesday. My name is Flossie and I consider myself to be like the funniest witty mindset coach, as well as your OG hype you up rampage queen here on YouTube. And I keep saying I have to make more rampages, but yeah, I'll get to it. Maybe you need to drop some rampage ideas below and so I can have some inspo. Anyway, if you want one-on-one coaching with me, links are going to be in the description box below. And just as an announcement, let me grab my cheat sheet. In January, Nikki and I are going to have an SP challenge, which will also include an exclusive group for those folks where we will have 2 lives over the course of a month and a weekly post for questions. Now, the SP challenge is literally going to be a month long where there is content every single day helping you to manifest your specific person. Also, we're going to have this really cool offer combining the services that Nikki and I both offer. So there will be 3 months of her manifest for me, along with 4 coaching calls from me, and be included in that exclusive group to help you manifest your shiznit. Before I get into like the most shocking manifestation ever, I am going to, of course, do my calendar. And of course, I'm obviously a little behind. So fucking done. Literally, with the 3D reality, it's time to stick that shit straight in the trash where it belongs. And when you hear this story, you will be so ready to stick your old story in the trash, it will floor you. Time to dig out all the shitty party sweaters. I could give a fuck about shitty party sweaters. What's all this snow bullshit? What do I keep telling you guys? Manifest living somewhere that you like the weather. Trim the shit out of that tree. If you celebrate that and have a tree, maybe it needs a trim. Bake all the damn cookies that you want. I say hardcore fact to that. Clearly, I've always loved cookies. Drop it like a fucking top. That's what you're going to do with the old story, the 3D that you don't care about. Get those damn presents wrapped already. I'm usually late with that. Deck the fucking halls, which you will be singing after you hear what I have to tell you. Literally, shocking shit here. It takes only 1 fucking hour to turn fresh snow to mud. I remember those days of having the snow. Great. 40 fucking minutes untangling the lights. I do remember that. NVM. Never mind. I think that's what it's supposed to say. The damn lights are actually dead. I remember that too. We're almost done. And this says, walking in a cold as shit winter wonderland. And if you're walking in that winter wonderland, you better be what? Affirming. So, I literally have the most shocking fucking success story that I have ever freaking received from a client, period, that was happening in actual real time. Facts. And when I read this, I almost fell out of where I was sitting because it was so mind-blowing, so astronomically huge that each and every one of you listening to this will now know that your 3D reality is BS, like I say, a partial illusion at best. And you will know for a fact after you hear this that you could literally manifest anything that you want. Facts, facts, facts. I just have to get my thing. Hold on. So I am going to read this to you how I received it in real time. My client said that I could share it. I'm going to remove any identifiers, obviously, but here we go. This was the text message that I got Monday, November 17th, just of this year. Hey Flossie, my 6-month-old kitten passed away on Wednesday while she was supposed to be spayed. She went into cardiac arrest from the anesthesia, and by the time they got oxygen to her, she was brain dead And I took her home anyways because I couldn't believe that she was dying, because I didn't expect that, because this is such a routine surgery. It's so uncommon. The vet was shocked too. We all cried. I took her home and I watched her pass away in my arms. I brought her back to the vet and left her there because I was so shocked. I didn't know what to do. Anyway, I'm thinking about the possibility of manifesting that this never happened to her and that she's safe at home. But the idea of manifesting someone who died really freaks me out, because it doesn't sound like something that's possible. I've never heard of it. I've never experienced that. So I'm just wondering if that's possible, because the fact that I watched her die, and I'm like, how is she going to show up at home? So I'm looking for some honest advice, how to handle this, please. And I wrote her back. People have advised death before. They just subscribe to the reality that it has not happened, tell themselves it was a nightmare. And she said, thank you so much. And I said, I would write a FU letter about the situation and to the vet staff first. So I, was telling her basically that she could revise this. This was possible. And she told me, yeah, good point. I learned a lot from this experience. I don't feel like a different person, so I don't want to lose this new perception. I just want her home safe. Now, flash forward to December 13th. Of course it was the 13th. Why? Because that's like literally my favorite number and my lucky number. Hello. On a Saturday, which was just this December 13th. So less than 4 weeks later, like literally digest that, less than 4 weeks, I get a picture and this message. So you sitting down? You better be sitting down. Sit the fuck down if you're not, because I don't want anybody falling over. I claim zero responsibility for anyone passing out from watching this video, period. She wrote, OMG, Flossie, the vet just called me on Friday and told me to come pick up my kitten. They apologized that it took a while because she didn't do well with the anesthesia. They needed to keep her to make sure that she recovered, and that it's probably not a good idea to spay her in the future because clearly she doesn't do well with anesthesia. So maybe she would make a great breeding cat because she's a purebred, I ruled out the breed, because she's a purebred, LOL. So she's at home and totally fine, caps, as if nothing happened. Which is so messed up because she stopped breathing in my arms. And I felt how her heart stopped beating. And she wasn't breathing the whole time that I took her to the vet. And the vet pronounced her dead when I brought her in a month ago. I have like chills just reading this right now, and I've read it like 100 times. I've been affirming this whole time that she's home and that she's totally fine, and they randomly call and tell me to come pick her up. Wow. And I even had to go back last week to buy food from that vet for my other cat. And they saw me and they didn't say anything. And literally 2 days ago, they called me to be like, okay, come pick her up. And I was like, what do you mean? And they were like, she's fine. Hello, duh, she just needed some time. Nobody had any recollection that she died. When I went to go see them, I cried when I saw the kitten. And they were like, why are you crying? And I'm like, because she died. And they were like, what are you talking about? Nobody had any recollection that happened. They even showed me the outcome notes for the surgery, that she did go into cardiac arrest, but that she recovered and she needed to be kept for a while. And she's exactly the same kitten, same behavior, same everything. To which I responded, fuck yes. Now, this just blows me away. This absolutely blows me away because I had a client who was writing about this in real time. This success story had me completely shook because I've never received anything to this extent, period. I've read success stories where people have revised, death. I believe one of the people I worked with had a family member call and say another family member passed away, and then that person revised that ever happened. And then the next time, a few days later, when they talked to said family member who gave them the news, they talked about the one who supposedly passed away and that person was fine. So The reason why I think these are different though is because this person literally saw her animal die, saw it take its last breath, felt its heart stop beating, had the vet pronounce it dead. It was directly in her face, not just something that she heard on the phone. I asked my client if I could share this anonymously and said, I would love to inspire others with how truly powerful we are. And she said, absolutely, because it proves that we can revise even the most horrific and scary situations as if it never happened. Now, bear in mind that my client manifested this. It unfolded in a way that would make sense to her, right? Because she brought the cat back to the vet. Now, she didn't bring the cat to the vet with the intention of revision, because if you recall from listening to everything that I read, she wrote to me after the fact, and she basically just brought it back over to the vet because she just didn't know what to do. She was in shock. I don't think that she anticipated this manifesting. You heard that she wrote me and said she didn't even know if it was possible, which I told her that it is. I believe that anything is possible to manifest. I honestly, truly do. Because if you have a desire, the promise is creation's already finished. You just become the version of you that has it. You change your dominant thought and or assumption on the topic, and you shift to the reality where that exists, or it shifts to you. I don't care how you look at it. It doesn't really matter to me. One of the reasons that I find this story so shocking that I wanted to share with you, besides what she literally manifested, was that she basically saw no evidence of it until she got the call. She saw zero evidence of it, yet she kept persisting. She literally talks about how she went back to the vet to get food for her other cat. Now, if she was in the reality where that cat was recovering, her kitten was recovering, I feel 99.999% certain that they would have said, oh, your kitten's still recuperating, or they would have mentioned something, or they would have, said something to her, because they would have been surprised that she didn't ask about her cat that was literally had been in there for nearly, 4 weeks by this point, or, over 3 weeks or whatever that it would have been. And so I think naturally we would pretty much all generally think that if she was in the reality where that kitten was there at that same vet, being treated by that same vet, being treated for weeks by that same vet, that they would have talked to her, called her, given her an update, especially when she was physically there. But no, she heard nothing. She was there for another animal. They didn't say anything to her about her kitten, period. Until she got the call, until that her kitten was totally fine and could be picked up. Now, if you want to watch any of my videos on revision, I'll try to link one of my more recent videos here. I do talk about different ways to do revision. I do believe that we can revise anything. Having said that, I can't stress enough how, number one, this shows many things. Revision is you can revise basically anything. I mean, period. Even something you have a lot of resistance to, number one. Number two, you may not see any evidence of it. Number three, the people in her 3D reality, the only person who remembers her cat dying is me and her. She told me, I remember it. I didn't forget about it. She remembers it. But no one else in her 3D reality, as far as the whole vet staff goes, I didn't talk about all her friends and family. I didn't get into that. But no one else at the vet's office remembers that her kitten passed away. You heard their reaction that she told me that she experienced. They were like, what are you talking about? They showed her notes that were different. I mean, we're talking about a situation where an animal, her beloved pet, died in her arms, took its last breath. She felt its heart stop beating. She brings it to the vet. Everyone's crying. They're pronouncing it dead. It didn't breathe for, the whole time that she was driving, etc. Now the kitten's fine. The situation was similar, obviously. So, the two realities were very similar. She took the kitten in. It had a reaction to the anesthesia. It went into cardiac arrest. In one reality, the kitten passed away. In the other reality, the kitten survived. They just need to keep it for a period of time in order to get it well. But all that staff doesn't remember any of that. They only remember that reality that they're in, which is what I've told people time and time again. Things can unfold in multiple different ways. Anything is literally possible. But one of the most important things that I want you to take away from this entire video is that if my client can overcome the huge level of resistance of manifesting back to life, which, an animal that in one reality passed away, and manifest shifting to the reality where the animal was still alive and well, you should recognize that you could literally manifest anything, period. Hardcore fucking facts. I am sure a lot of people have a lot more resistance of manifesting, shifting to a reality where their beloved pet is still alive and breathing after seeing it die, after seeing the vet pronounce it dead, than getting back a person who says they don't want to be with you. Or getting the money that you've always wanted, or having the career that you wanted, or the business that you've wanted. If anything at all, this should have shown you that your 3D reality is literally a partial illusion at best. I don't care if you look at it as a Sims game, the Matrix. I don't care if you subscribe to the multiverse theory and there's multiple realities, which is what I do more than the other ones. But the fact is, there's multiple realities. I have shifted and seen it and had weird shit happen myself. Nothing to that extent, but I haven't attempted to manifest that either. That's not something that I've personally tried to manifest. But my client did. And that's why I shared the success story with you. You can literally manifest anything. The 3D reality is an illusion. It's not fully real. If it was real, and it was 100% real, we wouldn't be able to change our reality by changing our thoughts. We wouldn't be able to shift to a reality where our beloved pet that had passed away was now alive and well. That wouldn't be something that could happen if everything was set in stone. I believe my client 1,000,000%. Because I've manifested some crazy things that would seem either improbable or next to impossible. Period. And if you want to watch my video about there's no coincidences and no miracles, everything's just a manifestation, feel free to go ahead and do so. So you may need to watch this video a few times and sit with it in your state of shock about what my client messaged me. But she literally messaged me this shit just a few days ago. I had family in town, so I wasn't able to immediately record a video. But they left this morning, and guess what? I'm recording a video now. Because you guys need to know that your 3D reality is a joke. It's an illusion. It's an illusion based on your dominant thoughts and assumptions. Watch my video about changing the script. If you don't like your 3D reality, change the fucking script. If my client can manifest shifting to a reality where her beloved pet is still alive after all that happened, you can manifest your fucking specific person. You can manifest your money, your career, your job, the success you want, whatever, because I think most people would have more resistance to what she manifested than the shit that you're trying to manifest. And I'm not degrading what you're manifesting. We all have different levels of resistance to stuff, but I think collectively we would agree that many people would have a huge amount of resistance to manifesting something like that. A lot of people in the manifestation community don't even attempt to do so. Or they have situations where it hasn't been necessary in their 3D reality that they've wanted to do so. But having said that, that's what I have to say. I've read stories over the years of people doing it, been told some things. I've believed it's possible. I shared that with my client. She literally did it. She sent me a picture of her cat and a little kitten and wrote me all that information. And she's been working with me for a while on other things. This just happened to happen in her 3D reality. And she reached out to me ASAP to get some advice on what to do. She followed the advice, and lo and behold, her kitten is here. Her kitten is here. If you weren't shook by this video, I don't know what else would fucking shake you, because I have been a manifestation coach now for Sammy Ingram for literally, I'm about to enter my 7th year and not the too far distant future. I met Sammy back when she had 1,500 subscribers. And so if I'm telling you, as someone who's been in this community for quite a while, who's helped thousands of people manifest the things that they've wanted, that when I read this, that I was literally shook for as long as I've been here and as much as I've manifested, because it was a client of mine and I was involved in this in real time. I don't know what else would shake you. Unless, of course, you manifest something disappearing and reappearing, or you manifest these things yourself. So perhaps affirm I am the most powerful manifestor ever, and it's proven to me daily. I have clients that affirm stuff like that, and they start manifesting rapidly, quickly, crazy stuff that doesn't seem probable, things that they didn't think that they would get. So any version of like, I'm the most powerful manifestor ever, I'm the most powerful manifestor that's ever existed, I'm the best manifestor that's ever existed, whatever it is that you want to do. I like powerful. I like, thinking that I'm the most powerful manifestor on the face of this planet, and then follow that up with, it's shown to me daily, it's proven to me daily, something like that, so that you can change your mindset about what you think about manifesting. And now that you know that it's possible, because my client literally did it, that means that you can manifest what you want to. Manifest what you want. This video is probably already going to be hella long because of the extreme topic. A topic that I think should literally have every single one of you shook. If you could do me the solid of like, sharing, and subscribing if you're not a subscriber, so that more people in the manifestation community like literally know it's possible, literally know that they can manifest anything that they want, that would be great. Because I think that there's a lot of people out there that listen to coaches. Those are the coaches that are like cockroaches that like crawl up under a rock. There are so many coaches out there that are hella limiting, tell people that they can't manifest this, that, and the other thing. And, there's all these ridiculous rules and this, that. No, it's your reality. It's basically your dominant thought and or assumption is what you're going to experience. And that's pretty much it. That is pretty much it. You can literally manifest whatever you want. If you have the desire, the creation is already finished. It doesn't matter how outlandish it seems to the 3D, because the 3D is what? Not fucking real. It isn't real. Hello? For those of you in the back, I'd yell, but I might scare the neighbors. Anyhow, drop any comments, questions, concerns below, because I love to check them out. If you were shook by this video, maybe that you could rate, I was shook. I was hella shook. I'm floored. Maybe even drop me the scary little screaming face emoji, because I have had to process this for several days even to make this fucking video. So there you go. Oh, and if you have rampage ideas, drop them too. So I love you guys. It's almost the holidays if you celebrate that. And I just want you to know that you can literally be, do, have anything that you want. This should prove it to you that you can be, do, have anything that you want. Your specific person literally has no free will. The kitten who had passed, the vet staff, no free will, okay? You shift to reality where you want to exist, or your reality conforms, or, the matrix gives it to you, the computer loads a new part of the program. I don't care how you look at it, but you can literally be, do, have anything that you want. I hope this video truly inspired you, and until next time, I'll talk to you later. Bye.